John Pennington. Tracy. Photographic solar etched print, Episcopal School of Dallas, teacher Janice Heffley. This portrait is of my best friend, Tracy. Originally, I shot this photograph on black and white film and printed it in the darkroom. Because this image means so much to me, I've chosen it to experiment with many alternative photographic process. The essence of Tracy's natural beauty is captured through her expression. Liberty Riggs, Outer Munster. Acrylic, Booker T. Washington, Charlotte Chambliss. This painting is a depiction of a pasture outside the small town of Munster. How do I say that? Is it Munster? Okay. Located off of Highway 82. I've been there, but just never took the time to learn how to say it. While working on this landscape, I was strongly influenced by the work of Canada's Group of Seven and the loose, vividly colored landscapes they created in the Ontario region of Canada. Amy Seabolt, Large Cube Light. It's mixed media, mylar, wood, and wire. Booker T. Washington, teacher Paige Furr. People take for granted the objects they need in everyday life, the environments they live and work in, and even the light switch they turn on every night. My goal is to take the ordinary object and transform it into a functional and aesthetically pleasing work of art. Nathan Showalter, Movement, Ceramics, Episcopal School of Dallas, teacher Barbara Brault. It is the construction and thought process that goes into designing a form with function in mind that attracts me to teapots. When designing teapots of various shapes and sizes, I enjoy exploring the relationship between the spout and the handle. It is this relationship that is key to developing a sound piece. Julie Sill, Untitled, Hot Glue, Creekview High School, teacher Cindy Summerman. What inspired me to create this artwork was the interesting way that hot glue falls on objects when it's hot and then dries. I decided to piece them together to create an interesting and different piece that people would question and wonder what it was and how it was made. Rachel Suggs, Inner Conflict. Colored pencil, Booker T. Washington, teacher Nancy Miller. This is an exploration of my inner struggles. I protect myself and hide beneath a blanket. The hands pulling on the fabric are an attempt to drag me down into a lower state of mind. Emily Sutton, Starlight, Clayboard, Colleyville Heritage High School, teacher Heidi Shaban-Cortese. This piece really speaks to me personally. I love playing with the idea that things do not have to be exactly what they seem, and that something ordinary, such as breath, can be unique and beautiful. Emily Thornton, Continuum, Silver, Creekview High School, teacher Cindy Summerman. My inspiration came from an old spoon. The solid flowing lines lead to the open, lightweight filigree. The eyes follow the movement of lines within the ring. The viewer remains trapped, going round and round the sterling silver. Mariah Tyler, Snow White 2010. Color digital photography, Poteet High School, teacher Terry Rahosic. There is a certain irony behind Snow White holding a gun. This photograph illustrates the idea that a 21st century fairy tale princess would be drastically different from the original 1938 version. Imagine a girl with a malicious stepmother who banishes her and then tries to poison her. Today, things are seldom happily ever after. In 2010, Snow White would potentially seek revenge. Itmar Villadivieso, Golden Firefly, Color Digital Photography, Bryan Adams High, teacher Richard Bond. I wanted to show the connection between the man-made and the natural world. I digitally enhanced the image to capture the almost magic-like qualities that fireflies have when they light up the summer night sky. It is interesting how this close-up image of a plane actually conveys some aspect of the parts of insects. The resulting composition makes you think about whether the designer of the plane was possibly influenced by the aerodynamic qualities of insects. Jennifer Watson, Untitled, Mixed Media, Cardboard and Paper Sack, Newman Smith, teacher Shay Needham. I drew inspiration from nature for this piece. I was interested in working with contrasting materials, something like cardboard and something flimsy like paper. The combination was challenging but blended beautifully together. Chris Williford, Coming of Age, Mixed Media, Prismacolor, Colored Pencil, and Collage, Coppell High School, teacher Tamara Westervelt. In just halfway into my junior year of high school, my perception of adolescence has completely changed. Reflecting on my recent trials and tribulations, I was reminded of the classic novel Lord of the Flies and how the boys on the island turn to savages when they are forced to grow up too early. Honorable mentions. Yulam Zhuang, Normal, Collage, Creekview High School, Bob Thomas, teacher. Circle, triangle, rectangle. We can see these shapes everywhere, so we feel these shapes are not special. I wanted to show normal shapes could be interesting. G. Kim, Piranha, Bronze, Creekview High School, teacher Cindy Summerman. Inspired by the textures of cuttlebone casting, I carved the cuttlebone deeper in certain areas to create depth within the form. I used curvilinear lines to enhance the piece and to augment the texture of this prehistoric fish. After casting the piece in bronze, I manipulated the form to suggest the movement of the piranha. Haley Osur, sure. Ophelia, Colored Pencil, Colleyville Heritage High School, teacher Heidi Shaban-Cortese. While I was working on this piece, I was reading Hamlet in my English class, so my inspiration was drawn from Shakespeare's character Ophelia. I tried to put a modern spin on a classically tragic heroine to convey what her solemn death might look like today. Kavita Parmar, Abstract Planes, Colored Digital Photography, Episcopal School of Dallas, teacher Janice Heffley. Recently, while at the Meyerson Symphony Center, my eyes were drawn to the way the light fell on the wall and the minimalistic architectural elements. I challenged myself to create surrealistic planes in the style of Giorgio de Chirico. The perspective in this piece creates an abstract reality. Rutger Wall, Docile Dumpsters. Mixed Media, Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts, teacher Charlotte Chambliss. This piece was inspired by the way I found the dumpsters compositionally interesting. I wanted to place some type of inanimate object in an unusual environment that would automatically make the viewer question what was going on. This was a very improvisational piece to produce. I think it's it.